Hi everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Davide Pannozzo. I'm a blues artist. I have 5 albums under my name, and also I am the founder of GUITARlab, Modern Blues Guitar Academy Online, and this is going to be the 11th class for the new series Blues Guitar Essentials, the live course that I do every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, 10:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Rome time if you're watching from Europe. And once again, it's an open course, open to everybody, and I'll talk about all stuff related with blues guitar. And in the previous class we discussed scales, comping, theory, harmony, and we're gonna keep moving and moving forward because I'm getting a lot of great feedbacks from you guys. So I'm very happy about it, and I'm very happy to help everybody to level up their playing on this beautiful instrument, on this beautiful genre. Okay. And if you haven't done it already, you can also check out the previous classes. I'm gonna put a link up here after the live streaming. And if you have any questions, just feel free to hit me up anytime. You can also send me an email here, shoot an email here at davide@davidepannozzo.com. And if you haven't done it already, you can also check my GUITARlab, okay, here, GUITARlab.academy, and you can find the English version. If you scroll the page and you go on the upper right and you click on the US flag, you're gonna find the English version. But also, I created a very quick survey, if you like. So if you click on the link in the description below, you can actually find out your level on the guitar, okay? And I send you some free stuff related to your level. So it's fun, it's quick, so it's totally free. So make sure to check it, okay? All right, so in the meantime, I can see my students. Hi, Emilio. Ciao, Davide. And hi, Brian. Ciao, Maestro. Yes, guys. So today we're going to talk about an interesting topic to me. So how to play with the right feeling and with emotion, basically. And this is probably one of the most important topic on the matter, because we really want to say something, right, when we play. And I encourage you guys not to think about scales, licks. Music is not about that. It's more about conveying our emotions, right? Emotions, our feelings, telling a story, as we said in the previous class, right? So it's all about that. And when you focus yourself on getting more licks, more scales, more information, it might be overwhelming at first, right? Instead, I encourage you guys to think about the foundation of playing guitar, just in general. And as I said before, these classes are very useful no matter what your genre is. So you can always pick something and put it in your playing, no matter what your genre is. And in the very first class, we discuss fundamentals, right? So we said that vibrato, bendings, hammer-on, pull-off, slides are very important to make the first steps, right? So let's go back there, okay? And let's deepen a couple of topics taken from there, because I believe that this is going to be one of those classes that really make you guys level up your playing if you really make paying attention to details, okay? It's all about that, guys. So it's all about paying attention, right? So getting a couple of techniques and deepen those before you really digest it, before you really can move forward, right? And add more things, okay? But please don't think that the more scales, the more licks that you learn, the better. It's not that, okay? So it's really, if you really want to get a shortcuts on your path on the guitar, just think about fundamentals first, okay? And to do, we're gonna find out how. So let's think about vibrato first, because to me is one of those techniques that really helps you how to convey your emotion. Okay, so let's focus on this. So we said that the vibrato basically is a kind of a bending, right? A slower bending in a way, right? So you're doing like this, right? So as I always say, don't try to do the bending and also the vibrato just with one finger. Okay, so we are playing on a A minor pentatonic, right? And we are here. So it's more like we're playing this. So it's a whole tone, right, from D. Okay, so I can do this with every fingers, with every on every string, right? Okay, or it depends on the scale. But actually, the first thing that I advise you guys is to get used to the direction first of the bending and of the vibrato. So I advise you to push the string up. Okay, when you go here on D, A, and E string, you can push down. It's easier, but on the first, the second, and the third string, to me, it's easier if you go up, right? So why I'm talking about this? Because when you are, and this is an habit, okay, we talked about this. When you are thinking about fundamentals, it's all about habits, okay? So usually that's the reason why I told you guys don't think about scales, okay? Scales are just a perspective, okay? So we could play like with triads, with arpeggios, we could play with all the stuff that we can learn, right? So scales are just one of those tools, okay? But the most important thing is the context, which is created by the chord. Okay, so if I am aware of the chord, I can decide what tool to use to improvise, right? And but the very important habit that I have to get used to it is to play the vibrato at the ending of every lick, every phrase that I would play. Okay, and something like this. So let me do like a very quick loop. So okay, so A7, and I'm gonna play A minor pentatonic, and as we said before, minor third, major third, right? And at the very ending of every phrase, I'm gonna play the vibrato. So okay, so as you can see, if I'm doing the vibrato on the E, A, and D string, I'm gonna put it down the string. If I'm playing on E, B, G, it's up. Okay, so as you can hear, the vibrato is the very first fundamental that convey our emotion, right? Because if you get rid of that, it's gonna be just a scale. It's not a melody anymore, right? So let's try this. So I'm gonna play the same thing on the same context without placing any vibrato at the end of it, each scale. So right? So it sounds pretty non-musical, right? So the vibrato, for that reason, has to be one of your first priorities, okay? So try to master that. On the GUITARlab, we have a whole masterclass. If I'm not mistaken, the number is 65, where I discuss vibrato and all the different type of vibrato, okay? But if you're not a student yet, you can always just use this class and try to focus on the movement, okay? So the first rule is going to be use all the fingers, right? So if I'm doing a vibrato with the pinky, it's not going to be just the pinky, but it's going to be the index, the medium, the ring finger, and the pinky. So in that way, I'm going to have more strength to push the string, right? And also I can do the reverse bending, because I can literally bend the string and then I can play and put it back, right? Without the support of the whole the previous fingers, I'm not gonna be able to bend the B string, right? It's too hard. So that works for bending, but also for vibrato, okay? And having said that, so the first rule is to get used to play vibrato at the end of each phrase, okay? So you have to consider the vibrato just like a breath of fresh air, right? So you take a deep breath and then you say something different, right? So it's all about a conversation that you are taking with your listener, right? So it doesn't have to be overwhelming for them, because you're playing for people. You're playing music for people, not for guitar players, right? So that has to be the purpose of our playing. So when we think about this kind of thing, it's really important to think about how to convey the emotions and the right feeling. So for that reason, I decided to do this class. So once again, try to take some breath between one lick and the other, and at the end of each plays a vibrato. Okay, so let's try this. So once you did that and you get that habit, try to think about also the speed of your vibrato, because that creates a different emotion once again. So if I have to do like, if I'm playing on a slow blues, okay, probably I'm gonna do something like this. Okay, so it's slower than the previous one that I played on the other track, right? So right? So it's lower, okay? But if I have to play on a funky, definitely I can do that quicker, right? Right? So different emotion, once again, different feeling, right? So it's more relaxed. It's like, okay, I did that, I said that sentence, and also I wanted to take some breath. Right? So think about, let me do the let me do this. So it's like a slow blues, right? Right? And I would play something like this, right? Slower. Right? But if I go on the funky kind of thing, you see, like Albert Collins would play. Okay, and so on and so forth. So for fun, let's play this kind of vibrato on a slow blues, and you can feel it's a little awkward. Let's say that. Okay, it depends on what you are saying, definitely. Okay, so it could fit or it could not, right? It depends. So you always have to think about this. So when I play a slower vibrato, so it's more like, okay, I'm relaxing a little bit, I'm saying something calm. Okay, so I take some breath and I say my sentence. Okay, so I'm just telling a story with a different vibe, right? When I play a faster vibrato, so definitely the energy it's different. Okay, sometimes can be related with the tempo, right? So with the speed of my song, but sometimes it's just related with the emotion that you want to convey in that precise moment. Okay, so for instance, if I'm playing on a slow blues with a higher dynamic, so we started from here and we put it like here, and I really want to get the excitement, I would probably play a faster vibrato. Okay, and that leads us to another topic that we're going to discuss today, so dynamics. But just think about this. Okay, so try to force yourself to play the vibrato at the end of each phrase, right? And also try to listen to the difference between the slower one and the faster one, okay? And try to attach different emotions to those, right? So slower, it's more relaxed, laid back. Faster is gonna be more exciting, right? So when I play, I always have a conversation with myself, right? And I'm saying, okay, which story am I telling right now? So am I talking about something exciting or I'm something relaxing? So, and depending on that, I can decide which one I can use. Okay, so super interesting and super useful. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so in the comments below, just feel free to write any questions, okay, about this or other topics that you might be interested to. But let's move forward for now. Okay, so the second focus should be on bending, which is related with vibrato, as I said before. Especially because especially when you play something different from the pentatonic scales, you always have to think about bending and vibrato as the secret sauce to add some bluesiness in your playing, right? So if you want to play in a bluesy way, even with modes, for instance, you always have to think about how to play bending and vibrato to convey the right emotion, the right feeling. Okay, so this is one of those things that really change the perspective in your playing. So make sure to invest some time on this direction. Okay, so let's take the same kind of context, but this time with a modal approach, right? So we're playing a different scale from pentatonic scale. So Mixolydian, okay, so which is this guy. Right, and we're going to talk about this in another class, okay, but just for the purpose of this class. So basically it's you know, one of the bluesiest scale in the modal world, right? So because it's a dominant scale, because it has the minor 7, right, and then the 9, the major 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, right? But if once again, if scales are not just the most important thing, because if I think about scales, I can do something like this, right? And I lost all the bluesiness in my playing, right? Why is that? Because I'm not playing any minor major 3rd, as we said before. So it's, even if I'm playing on a Mixolydian, I always have to think about, so it's like minor 3rd up to the major 1. So instead of playing directly this interval, I would play a minor 3rd up to the major. So it's like, so I can play that with slide, right? So, or I can play with bending. Right? So I'm playing the same scale, but the feeling, it's totally different, right? Totally different. So make sure to use bendings on everything you are playing if you like to add some bluesiness in your playing, okay? So you always have to think about this, okay? I'm playing on this context, okay? I'm playing this on this chord, this kind of scale, but how can I once again have the right feeling and convey my emotion, okay? So if I want to keep that bluesiness in my playing, I'll always have to focus on placing on the right spot the vibrato and also the bending, okay? So try to do this all over the fretboard. Okay, so if I have to play, I'm gonna play all the modes, the major modes. In this case, we are in A7, so it's like the 5th grade of D major. Okay, so if I have to play on a A7 D major modes, I'm gonna play something like this. Okay, and I'm playing D major, but it doesn't sound like that because I'm always bending, right? The C up to the C sharp, right? On every box, on every mode, on every scale. Okay, but we talk about this. We're gonna talk about this in another class. Just to demonstration. This is just a demonstration, a quick demonstration that vibrato and bending are super important to get you to the right place, right? So you have to play with feeling, man. You don't have to play just scale and licks. You gotta play with feeling, right? Otherwise, it's gonna be hard, right? So once again, joking apart, we're playing music for people, right? So we have to tell a story every time. We're telling a story, okay? So and if my story needs to play modes, right? But I want to communicate my blues, I always have to think about bending and vibrato. Always. So those are the two ingredients that spice up your playing. Okay, so it adds some bluesiness in your pop playing, right? Let's say that. Alrighty, so let's move forward very quick. Last but not least, dynamics. Okay, so dynamics are super important to convey your emotion and let you play with the right feeling, right? Why is that? Because I can talk softly and I say something like this, right? So very quietly, right? And I can do that in the same way on my playing. But I can also say something loud. And I can be angry at somebody, right? And the same thing happens on my playing, right? So when you play, always think about this. And we discussed dynamics in another class, but it's really important for the topic that we're discussing today. So I'm not always playing like this. No. It's a mess, right? So it's more like right. And even if I'm playing 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 with dynamics, it sounds more like complex. So it's right. So it's not about playing all the time the loudest that I can be, right? Always have to be like this, okay? So lower dynamics and higher dynamics, okay? So it's all about creating a conversation, really, right? In the same way that would happen when we speak. Exactly the same thing, right? And also dynamics is really important even with pedal, okay? So for instance, if I'm playing with a fuzz right now, and this is the Cornerstone Nero fuzz by my friend Emilio at Cornerstone. And I can always do dynamics even with that. So I can play something very low with my volume around 6th. And then I can move and open up a little bit of the volume. So I can add more gain. As you can hear, as I open up the volume, I can get more gain. So different dynamics. And different attitude. I can be really hangry like this. Right? can be very quiet, so like this. Right? So experiment with that too. Okay, so if you have an overdrive, a fuzz, a distortion pedal, don't play always with the volume all the way up. Okay, so you have to reach that 10 on the volume. Okay, because it depends on your dynamic. So if you think about storytelling, once again, you don't want to spoiler, everything on the first 2 pages, but you want to say something during the whole book, right? And the same thing is the conversation that you have on your guitar and your improvisation. So think about it. So today we discussed vibrato, okay, slower and faster, and how they convey different emotions and different feeling. And also we said that bending are very, very important, okay, especially when you want to bring our bluesiness in other contexts, on other tools, right? So for instance, model scales, right? And also we said, once again, dynamics, really, really important. You don't want to yell at people all the time, right? So you always have a quieter conversation, then you bring your voice up and to the level that you want, and that is related to what you are saying, okay? Okay, guys, so I think that's it for today. So let me know if you have any questions. And once again, if you want, you can shoot me an email at davide@davidepannozzo.com, or you can just write a comment on the video, okay, and I'll be happy to help. And also, once again, if you haven't done it already, please check my GUITARlab Modern Blues Guitar Academy line on GUITARlab.academy, okay, /en for the English version. But also, if you like to find out what your level is on the guitar, make sure to check the survey that I created for you at the link below that you can find here on the video, okay? Okay, guys, thank you once again for watching this 11th class for the series Blues Guitar Essentials, once again live on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Rome time if you're watching from Europe. I see you guys on Monday, okay? And in the meantime, practice, practice, and practice.